Good afternoon. First and foremost, I'd like to acknowledge the Awabakal people, the owners of the land that we're on, and also acknowledge the stories of this place before we come here to tell new stories of our own. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. My name is Emily Crocker. I'm a poet and a performer, and today I'm also your host, and it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to the Hunter Final for the Australian Poetry Slam. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. So, who's been to a poetry slam before? Okay. Who's never been to a poetry slam? Wonderful, wonderful. A round of applause for our poetry slam virgins. Thank you. Okay, look, I tell you what a poetry slam is. Poetry slam is a competition. Today we have 8 of the Hunter Valley's best poets competing it out against each other to go on to the New South Wales final. You win the New South Wales final, you go on to the Australian Poetry Slam final. You win that, you become the Australian Poetry Slam champion of 2020, year that was. So it's a competition. Competitions have rules. So each of our poets, they each have 2 minutes in the spotlight with nothing but their voice and this microphone. So no props, no costumes, no music, nothing like that. So 2 minutes. At 1 minute 50, poets, you'll hear a bell, ding. It's actually a cowbell. I can't do a cowbell noise, but you'll hear one. 1 minute 50, you'll hear a bell, giving you notice that you have 10 seconds left. At 2 minutes and 1 second, we take 1 point off. 2 minutes and 31 seconds, we take 2 points off, and so on for every 30 seconds you go over. Points, hey? If we're taking points off, that means we have scorers. We have scores, we have points. Where do we get these points from? From you the audience. You, the audience, get to judge. The Poetry Slam is the democracy of poetry. The people decide. To help us decide who will judge, we have the lovely Christina over here. Round of applause for Christina. Christina's going to throw some candies into the audience. If you catch a candy, you're a judge. Christina, over to you.
So we're selecting 5 people. Okay, ready? You want to be a judge? Ready, Pat?
If you catch a candy and you're a poet, pass it on to someone else. Judge 2. Judge 3. Judge 4. And Judge 5. If you caught a candy, can you put your hand up? So we have Judge 1, Judge 2, Judge 3, Judge 4, and Judge 5. Round of applause for our newly appointed judiciary. So, judges, you might be wondering, how do I judge a poem? The way they teach poetry in high school English is not perhaps the best guide. Maybe, sometimes, I don't know. I love English teachers. Anyway, you're going to judge the poem on how it makes you feel, basically. If that poem really hits you in the feels, gets you all excited, gets you all sad, gets you all happy, gets you all impassioned, you'd be giving that a high score. If you think, it fell kind of flat, maybe you'd give it a lower score. Something like that. So judges, you're scoring between 0 and 10. Please use the decimal place. It helps us avoid a tie. So we're looking at 7.1, 8.3, 5.2, 7.0, not a decimal place. Maybe mathematically speaking, I'm not a mathematician, I'm a poet. I'm telling you, I don't want any 7.0s. I want 6.9s, 7.1s. How does that sound? So we have 5 judges. 5 judges, we take 5 scores, and then we cut the top score off in case your ex is in the crowd and they're still in love with you and they're like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And we take the bottom score off in case your mom's in the crowd and she hates you. She gives you 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Middle 3 scores we add together. The top place out of those middle 3 scores wins. Today we're having 2 rounds. So you'll see 8 poets at first, and then the top half of those 8 will perform again for you. So get ready, judges. To give you a handle on what you need to do, we have a tradition in the Poetry Slam of the sacrificial poet. So this poet is going to perform a poem. You're going to score it. The scores don't count for the competition, but they give you a good baseline. You think to yourself, when you're judging the competition, is this poet better or worse than the sacrificial poem? Is it better or worse than the score I gave that? Or you could throw that out the window and go random. I don't know, it's up to you. But the sacrificial poem helps you calibrate. And today your sacrificial poet is me. Just before I launch into that, I want to tell you about another tradition we have in the Poetry Slam community, and that's this one. Poetry Slam is interactive. It's a democracy, like I said. So don't be afraid to, if you're not judging, show your enthusiasm for the poets. One way we like to do it is clicking. It really helps the poet feel appreciation, but it doesn't interrupt their rhythm. So everybody pretend I said something awesome. Really, really good. And same thing, audience. If a judge gives a score you don't like, don't be afraid to boo it. Pretend that you just saw the best poem ever. I'm a judge. I gave it a 2.2. What are you going to do? That's right. That's right. Audience, really, your job is to sway the judges. Judges, your job is to not be swayed. Okay. Any questions? Great. Let's go. When the world began to collapse, not one of us noticed. The buzzing of honeybee wings started to fade. The survivors, they kept dancing. Old candy stripe-suited optimism trying to show us the way, but we took that as madness, refusing to hear the orchestra performing a prayer to the peace of a species whose only weapon is self-destruction. How much we could learn from their beds. The marigolds turned their faces into the breeze to send out one last golden breath of love. But the buzzing wasn't there to catch its pollen kisses. And the sparrows didn't build a nest in your roof this year. You slept through till midday without cheep scratch to wake you, and the buzzing faded. And the buildings stood obstinate, demanded that if we must leave early, do it quietly, watched the domino row kind pass somewhere in the burning evening. A distant siren howled, why, oh why, oh why? So you reeled the windows up, and the buzzing silenced. And the last lavender head shuffled in their dark audience, whispering, blinking as one witness bared to our shortcomings until the buzzing stopped. And yes, Sylvia, this is the silence you wanted so much for. Take an indulgent bite, finally. How rude to not swallow the meal as it seals your voice, sticking down your throat like honey. Thank you. Okay, judges, this is the longest amount of time I'm ever going to give you to score a poem. Scores, please, for the sacrificial poem in 3, 2, 1. Scores up. Okay, we need to work on synchronizing here, judges. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. Oh, can you do it a little bit bigger for me? But thank you. So over here we have a 7.2. We have an 8.7. We have a 6.8. We have a young man at the back. A 7.86. I'm going to make that a 7.9. 1 decimal place, I think. And a 9.3. Round of applause for our judges. Okay. Time to get into the competition. So in here I have the names of all of our 8 best poets of the Hunter Valley. I'm going to pull them out in random order. So they don't know what order they're going in, which means they're all sweating right now. Okay, first up we have okay, please welcome to the stage to start the Hunter Valley final of the Australian Poetry Slam, Sil! Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, all the way, all the way! Sil, poet Sil!
Help me with the mic. Thank you, everyone. Glad it's you, see? Lower.
It doesn't go lower.
It doesn't go. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. 1, 1, 1. Yes. Affliction. So recently galloping through green without heed, unstoppable determination in its bent, no consequence considered, no attachment to life, no rhyme nor reason too hard to fathom, too impossible to ponder. With frightening ferocity, it attacks all the trees and in an untimely, unprovoked, unwarranted response sends them hapless to their ultimate death. Little tufts of fur create God-forsaken messages you wish to unsee. This aftermath is too difficult to assimilate. If there is a lesson, is it valid? What then to learn? Only that it will recur without prediction. All that's left behind, scorched earth, horrific evidence of the hideousness of the red steer. But wait, there is verdancy. As surely as the circle was designated, there is rebirth. The plan was laid down eons ago. Tiny reddish protrusions escape from ashened gums. The tip of their spears are barely evident in the base of the black boys, but they reach continually skywards until they attain their zenith. Pray for not too much regenerating rain, as it is early yet for regrowth to bind the soil. We bear witness to such magical healing which follows such devastation.
Excellent. Thank you, Sil. Wonderful. Judges, what do we think? What scores do we have for Poet Sil? Okay, we have an 8.3. We have a 7.1. We have a 7.1. We have a 6.2. Is that right? 6.2 and a 6.9. Forget the points. Applaud the poets. Do a little adjusty. Okay, next poet up to the mic. Can we please welcome Lou? Round of applause. All the way, 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 all the way.
COVID Clean Creatives. Capturing a rockumentary. Depart Maitland for Tibooburra on a next-level touring. Luxury rock star coach. Following in Sturt's footsteps, seeking the inland sea. Or in our case, seeking freedom and creativity. Palace Hotel, Broken Hill. Iconic Priscilla pub. Colourful, elegant murals chill this amazing artistic hub. Yes, it was nice of you to invite me here. Steve Kilbey, legendary rock star from the church. Wish I knew what you were looking for. 11 Women, album debut. Rolling Stones, 4-star review. Tibooburra, here we are. Also called Two Boobs and a Bra. Friendly family hotel bar. Sexy murals. Pew goes too far. Racy naked devil leers at naked daughters through my ice-cold beer. We paint this abandoned rusted car found outside Two Boobs and a Bra. Painter Fairweather's desert camp. He lived like a tramp. Paintings, canvases in the trees. Steve plays Fairweather screen test scenes smeared in dirt and rip-painted shirt, lit by fires and car headlights, filmed under the Milky Way tonight. The road to Tibooburra, magical mystery tour, amidst the pandemic, COVID-free leaves me in an unguarded moment, inspired, energized, even humanized.
Thanks, Lou. I love the church. All right. Okay. Keeping it COVID safe here. Keeping it COVID safe. Okay, judges. 3, 2, 1 scores. We have an 8.1 for Lou, a 6.7, 6.3, 5.3, 7.1, and a 7.4. Forget the points. Applaud the poets. All right. Next up, we have Jacinta. All the way, all the way, all the way.
Beat myself up for overspending. Don't you know what it's like to be me? She objects, seeks understanding from her one and only, then rationalizes with all her might to spend again, to buy energy, to allow space between her and her chaos, to escape the lack of camaraderie that keeps circulating within her, to allow room for neural circuits to reconnect between thought and idea, to allow for breath between her heart and her mind, to allow for breath, to allow for breath. Why can't this space exist within my own home? Why can't this space exist without space? Why can't I use my money on more energy, on money for people that don't have no money, that don't have no home, that don't have no privilege, no leverage to their best life, the latest wankerage disseminating through cyber life of what life just post on post, facilitating ghost on ghost of no accountability, no responsibility. Turn that eye blind, turn it off, don't rewind, switch off your awareness as you switch on your cell phone. Wait, you never switched off your cell phone. It was still governing your undertone to your filtered best life. A vacuum into cyberspace as you lose your sensibility, just boast on boast like roast on roast of your free will. Burnt. Addiction, creature of habit of creature, masterfully curated to mask affliction. Is this not the human condition? Predictable text from an unpredictable brain ruminating in silence. Is there really any choice to what's next? I see I've slightly digressed. I haven't found free energy within my current state of mind, within my current state of being. My energy needs exceed my body's ability to create it, yet I have everything I need. I am everything I need, so why do I feel broke? Perhaps my cause is not rich enough, perhaps what I'm giving is not regenerating enough. And then she wrote, but why should what I give be regenerating? As to regenerate is to grow new tissue after loss or damage, which is to imply that I am losing or incurring some amount of damage by giving, to give a part of myself, to work, to others, to study, to generate enough wealth that enables living. I give time. Is my body trying to buy back that time? Or do I just need more sleep?
Gorgeous. Thank you, Jacinta. Judges. Scores for Jacinta, please, in 3, 2, 1. And we have a 6.8. We have a 6.9. We have a 7.1. We have a 7.9. And we have a 9.4. What do we think about that? Oh, excellent. Okay. Next up. Please welcome to the stage with a warm, warm round of applause, Sophie! All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way.
The opposite of fate is existentialism. And they ask, which do you believe? Yet I've been left next to nothing. Next to darkness that crawls like shivers and ants on my skin, that crawls like snakes suffocating. The opposite of fate is existentialism. Fate is for the sweet-hearted with light behind their eyes, or perhaps fate is for the weak. It is much easier to say everything happens for a reason than to front face to every choice. Existentialism leaves no exit. The opposite of fate is existentialism. Yet how can I believe in fate? I fumble, I pace, I crumble every Wednesday before his grave, forever 3, forever weep. We are shards of glass, glass hearts, uncut. The constant cut spills blood, stained red eyes. Justify the unjust. Justify the unjust. Justify it with fate, and your breath becomes a waste, and I recoil and drown in the depths of nothing that splits the spectrum between fate and existentialism.
Thank you, Sophie. Wonderful. Okay. Judges. 3, 2, 1. We have an 8.3. We have a 6.3. We have a 7.1, a 9.2, and an 8.9. Forget the points. Applaud the poets. And next up, please welcome to the stage, Alex.
It seeds in grapes. It scribbles on a page. It wears away your favorite shoes and grows through a tiled path. It's summer without sunshine and rain without water. It's chocolate without sweetness and games without fun. Destinations without journeys and days cut into deadlines. It is anhedonia, living without joy. It fills in all the empty space, dwells in all the quiet places, pulls the ground from under you and leaves you hollowed out. Sometimes I can feel it too. Anticipated hope. That thing that never finds its place, like music's missing note. So life becomes a being thing, a carrying of weariness to twisted ends of weary days. But does it have to be that way? That flicker that I search for, I find it in your eyes and in your singing smile. Then in my time, I'd like to learn every way to give you. It may be vicarious, but all of that joy that lies in you, I'd like to find more with you.
Thank you, Alex. Judges. 3, 2, 1. And we have a 6.9, we have a 7.2, we have an 8.2, a 7.8, and an 8.4. Applaud the poets. Okay. 6 poet down, how are we feeling? We're up to our penultimate poet for the first round. So can we please welcome to the stage, Joshua?
Good afternoon. Why so serious? Now, I understand depression, heartbreak, anxiety, and despair. And my heart goes out to those hearts and minds in need of repair. Now, I'm not here to judge or pretend I can help, but what I can do is try to lighten your load, to make you smile and ponder those things worth living, even for just a while. Now come with me and let's shake off these COVID blues. Come with me on a journey into the Imagispace and the Snork Porkaloo. It's not imaginary, quite contrary. Turn off your phones, disconnect and unplug your TVs. Now let's reconnect, open our eyes and just allow yourself to breathe. breathe in the Imagispace and the Snork Porkaloo. Now, how can I get to this magical place, you may ask? Curiosity is the only way. That's it, by George or Grace. You're starting to get it. Why, you can't get there by canoe, or you can get there by canoe, a rocket shoe, or playing the didgeridoo. And that's no malarkey. Why, you can even get it eating vegan jerky. Can you feel the energy rising up through your bobbly toes? Embrace it. Enter the Imagispace and the Snork Porkaloo. Don't dwell on the pickle you're in, for that is the fickle man's folly. Get up in your Imagispace and be who it is you were born to be. Be loud, be proud, and shake off those 1.5 metre mind shackles and say goodbye to those COVID blues. So just before I go, don't forget just what to do. When you're feeling down and blue, just let out a Snork Porkaloo. The rest is simply up to you.
Thanks, Joshua. Nonetheless, please remember to stay 1.5 meters away from others in public. Judges, scores please for Joshua, 3, 2, 1, and we have a 7.5. We have 8.6. We have a 7.1. We have an 8.1 and a 7.2. Forget the points, applaud the poet. Which brings us to the final poet of the first round, which means that I know who they are, and they know who they are. Do you want to know who they are? That wasn't a yes. Do you want to know who they are? Are you sure? Please welcome to the stage, John. All the way, all the way.
Please wait in your car. Empty waiting room. Consultations are curated. Face-to-face, only if essential. Contact must be minimized. How empty is our infectious world, where strangers avert their eyes, or smile, ironically, weaving around each other in contactless counterpoint. The pandemic pavan. While others blithely bustle through, innocent of risk or confident in ignorance. Between shuttered doors and silent booths, bright lights call welcome for well-spaced clients, while unseated coffee drinkers clutch cups uncomfortably, uncertain of their place. Visitors cleanse hands, are interviewed, scanned, tagged, like supermarket trolleys, sprayed, wiped, segregated. Entry is monitored, controlled. Follow the lines, maintain the distance, only 3 to a lift. Don't touch.
Thank you, John. Judges, scores please. 3, 2, 1. And we have a 6.8. We have a 7.3. We have a 7.5, a 6.9, and a 7.5. Forget the points, applaud the poet. And keep that round of applause going for every single poet who just performed in the first round. Getting on stage is nerve-wracking. We all know it. So, I have some news for you. This is what's going to happen now. We're going to take a 5-minute break. So go outside and have a durry or go to the loo or get some water or do whatever you need to do. And we'll be back here in 5 minutes with the top 4 scorers of the first round for a slam out to see who will represent Hunter Valley at the New South Wales final. All our friends on the live stream, go make yourself a cup of tea. See you in 5.
That's over now. You keep me coming back for more. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. Love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. Oh, once in your life you find someone who will turn your world around, pick you up when you're feeling down. Now nothing can change what you mean to me. There's a lot that I could say, just hold me now, 'cause our love will light the way. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. Love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. I've been waiting for so long for something to right, for love to come along. Now our dreams are coming true, through the good times and the bad. I'll be standing there by you. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. Love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. We're in heaven. When he's good on me. When he's good
Can't you say the sun is shining just for you? Only today.
Thanks, mate. Are we back in the room? Did we lose anyone outside? Has everyone got their seat? Did anyone have their seat poached during the intermission? Someone think that you had a better point of view? No, you all look like you're in the same spot. Lovely, lovely. Very good. Well, welcome back to the second half. As you know, we'll have performances from 4 of our poets from the first half. I just want to do a quick roll call and make sure we have all of our judges again. So hands up if you're a judge. Oh, yes, I see. So Judge 1, Judge 2, Judge 3, Judge 4, Ghost Judge, and Judge 5. Beautiful. Are you ready to hear some more poetry? Excellent. So, I'm going to let you know who got through to the second round so that they know, and then we'll do the same thing. Pull them in random order, get them back up on stage. So, coming through to the second round, we have... Let's start a round of applause. Coming through to the second round, we have Alex, we have Jacinta, we have Joshua, and we have Sophie. Let's play pick up sticks. First up, please welcome to the stage, Jacinta. All the way, all the way. You're not picking up on it, Hunter Valley. All the way, all the way, all the way. Thank you.
We have contradiction of the generation, infiltrating senseless self-importance with selfies and lazy performance, writing rhymes without structure, filling times without junctures, creating junctures from societal anxieties because your selfies were not priorities. Of course, they weren't the main focus. They were highlighting your humanitarian views, only subtly painted with narcissistic hues, but everybody saw some compassion, and not that you're just trying to keep up with fashion, show socially acceptable ghosting of your best friend because nobody knows standards that will host you. Amend your self-absorbance keeps you lonely while your friends forget your friendship and your phone feels falsely homely. Maybe it is me that is selfish, as I just like to embellish other things that I don't understand. I try to make sense of this world, but you're not holding my hand, so I try holding my hand. I'm thinking, I'm mulling, I'm playing with words enough to pull me out of the quicksand. You don't get it, I don't get it, there's no sense, and your articulation speaks nonsense. There's no articulation, just words that string along a broken fence. You've got mixed views and new shoes, and you're waiting for some justice of injustice, and you just won't see what's real, what's really needed. Your voice is jaded, incarcerated by social norms that aren't liberal, just a symbol that no one understands, and no one understands why our people are still incarcerated for just being. The poetry was lost when all our people were broken, and we chose and still choose not to see. Are we blinded by what we see, or do we choose not to see because we think it will blind us? Do we think it will blind us, or are we all just running late for the bus? That one that will take us to the moment where our ego is the exponent. See, I watch your ego grow as you grow surer of yourself. You are falling for yourself, and this world tells you that you should do that, but you seem to forget that you might regret all the connections that decay as you bolster your betrayal with your self-enameled reflection, only partial to self-reflection of what's beyond mere externalism. You've studded your ego with gold and given value to something that won't hold, so fix yourself before you help yourself to all the self-help bottles that are lurking in the cellar, medication for emancipation of when this society is your mother locked in chains through your own veins, but you have plenty of help to feel the pains. You have plenty of help to feel the pain.
Thank you, Jacinta. Right on. All right. Judges, scores please, in 3 and 2 and a 1. We have a 6.8. How do we feel about that, audience? We have a 7.1. We have a 6.9, a 9.4, and up the back we have a 6.9. 6.8. Thank you. Forget the points. Applaud the poets. Oh, my old eyes. My old eyes. Okay, next up, please welcome to the stage for their second performance today, Joshua. Joshua, 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 Joshua. Enjoy.
There you go. Oh, glasses, yes. I'll put the sunglasses on. Okay. It's better. Crook, twist, and curl. The crema leads us on a merry dance through the maze of time, and lack of sleep denies us rightful passage to sanely earthly delights. Although when it does come, laced with dreams of silver dust and motion pictures frame per frame, eyelids pulse, hardwood knocks, and timbers rise as the sun greets us once again with outstretched fingers, warm against our skin. A playful fairy wren twitters a good morning just outside our conscious thoughts as an eye draws open, scouting the dawn of a new reality, specially built for our construct. I awaken to thick black curly hair on my pillow and breathe you in as a new adventure beckons. The smell of coffee and synaptic reward is not far away now. The day is ours.
Thank you, Joshua. Round of applause for our judges, too. 3, 2, 1. Let's see some scores. And we have an 8.2. We have a 6.9. We have a 7.8, a 7.3, and a 6.7. Was that all 5? Did I get them all? Okay. Wonderful. Applaud the poet. Forget the points. I forget. Okay, next up, please welcome to the stage Alex. Alex!
As weary daylight fades belatedly, an orchestra of stars shall take its place, and you, for whom I wait so patiently, to bathe again in heaven's shining grace. As you, my dear, illuminate the dark, so I, a beast, hunt for your radiance, outrun the coming dawn, the morning spark, to spend with you this one eternal night. But day must break and wash away the stars, and all God's creatures answer nature's call. Alone, but for the world when you are far, I wait once more for gentle night to fall. For sure as leaves do brown as summer wanes, I shall embrace your silver light again.
Thank you, Alex. Judges. Scores, please. And we have a 6.2. We have a 8.9. We have a 7.1, a 7.9, and a 6.8. Forget the points. Applaud the poets. As I'm sure you all know, 4 minus 3 gives us 1, which means we're down to our final poet this afternoon for the Hunter Valley Final. How excited are you? I'm so stoked. I love Poetry Slam. I love poems. Please welcome to the stage, Sophie!
Polonaise dialect is the Italian equivalent of Aussie bogan slang. We have a word that means both bitch and slut. Putana, dive into this angel whore binary. This archetype hangs over my heart. A dialect born from a village in mountains, born on the bones of poverty and hard work. A dialect, a lack of education. a language we learnt on Australian soil. The other, drool slang, this part of my tongue is sometimes foreign. A dialect split in half, split in fragments, a word missing, a phrase forgotten, a barrier builds. I want to tell my nonna every intricate of my mind, but words sometimes fail me. Her ears sometimes fail her. I was born of a dialect where women walked mountains for bread, to wash clothes in the river. I was born of a dialect on the bones of women who were domestic slaves, who knew their place in the patriarchy, women who were married young. I was born of a dialect from a village that constricts women. It's not okay for women to be drunk. To be drunk is bad in the street. My cousin sipped her liqueur and we drowned in limoncello shots. I was born of a dialect that leaves me with split heart, split mind, split life, treated like trash in my blood place. I can't quantify this. Yet, women over 40 pinched my cheeks, children's play. Andoshi barad papalde come Palanese. Where did you learn to speak this Palanese dialect, they ask. La nonna mia barad. My nonna taught me, I say. Ah, bravo, she barad papalde come la nonna. Good work for learning to speak like your nonna. La nonna mi imparate tutte cose. My nonna taught me everything.
Sophie! Keep that applause going for all of our poets. Okay, judges, for the final time this afternoon, thank you for your service. We have a 9.3, a 7.9. We have a 5.7. Get your feelings out. I like it. I like it. We have an 8.9 and a 7.8. Once and for all, forget the points. Applaud the poet. And applaud our judges. Wouldn't be a poetry slam without them. And let's also give a round of applause for wonderful Christine from Newcastle Libraries, who's going to be quickly adding together all of our scores. It might be the end of the slam, but it's not the end of the poetry. I have some poems for you. Oh, thank you. Oh, a correction, please. A 7.5, not a 5.7 for Sophie's second poem, Christine. 7.5, not a 5.7. All right. I was like, that's a backwards 5. That's fine. We make mistakes. Okay. Today, while you were out at work, someone installed a microphone in our backyard. True story. They padlocked it to our patio, and now I second guess everything I say. Everything I say, like who owns that parsley plant, or the drooping laundry with all the new pockets cut in, because it's not home, but not home either, right? Like, not that each other are lost, but not that we are not lost either, you know. That these times are not to be trusted when having your name on the lease feels like the height of security. We chose this one out of all the places we would never own because of the space in the front room for an air mattress, just in case anyone needed to store a body. Because this poem, it is a time machine. And I am trying in careful metaphor to trace back through a trail of parts of myself severed in the constant shrinking and expanding until they could be of anybody, and you won't ask me exactly what I meant when I say this time. I'm so pleased to be a soft landing, a recipe for washing powder, a cracked phone screen, an ear on the inside making unauthorized copies. But when I say love, What if you take that to mean I stole the change from your car ashtray? What if they take it that way? Because the whole fence around our rental is itching with the tissue lint of forgotten history and the guy who installed the microphone. And I know you can hear me, Neil. He said it only measures decibels. But how can I trust anyone who would be so earnestly uncompassionate? Because this house has always not understood, but not understood either, right? Listened to the whole throbbing continuum, wobbling as it does through the hot water system, through the too thin bedroom walls, a tin can intimacy, not romantic, but not tender, with optimism, but still. Our names are just noises you make to get our attention. If we could just resist in this one last stronghold, the exchanging of data for services, and yell over the trains, over the construction sites, yell all the things that we can't say because I can't say them. Thank you. I'm going to do a love poem now. We all need a little more love. It's called Spooks. It goes like this. I, a ghost of myself, groans and all, and you, cumbersome with so much opacity, itching in the aisles of hangars, each point of contact enacting a 5-star violence they don't know to call violence, glitching in the aisles of hangars, ma'am, I knew I was a woman, when I began using my form as a flotation device, a skeleton key, a dustpan, corrections in neat brushwork, I knew that you were really alive each time your body ingested the words a lie, like snips of red felt by the traitor, Taylor, placing pins in the lack of it all. But grief is a puncture in the lobe that never quite closes, a moaning, oh, how desirous you are at times, to slip inside a different mass like a lapel pin, if it would only hold you close, clothed. All the while, I am holding myself open, where I have nothing for you, which is so much longing it haunts us both. Thank you. I have one more poem for you. And I wrote it at the end of last year, and it's a fairly grave one because it was a difficult time for us as a nation. The whole damn place was on fire, as you know, and also someone in my life passed away. And I was feeling a lot of grief, but I was also looking out into the world, and as a community, we were feeling a lot of grief, and those two things resonated together. Which is to say that, as a way of warning, there are some serious themes in this one, but I won't leave you there, I promise. It's called Our Lungs So Full. Waiting on the grey plastic chair, the way water waits on oil, I Google a translation of the Latin embroidered on the cop's shoulder. Punishment will follow guilt quickly, it says. Grief is a history I have much yet to learn. 2 bronze envelopes pass through the gap in the window between the back of the cop shop and the rest of the world, both sporting bright orange biohazard stickers and dull red texture. The cop squeezes a bunch of blue nitrile gloves through the same gap, and the gloves bloom hydrangea from the bulge in my jacket pocket, pressing out like a throat lozenge from a foil tray into the eruption of Darlinghurst Road. The night after the death, I go to see a friend read poems at my old haunt and feel like a ghost, a leak in the wall. Every last open mica is repeating the line, it comes in waves, and the tense cliche of my own breath exhausts me. Gasps like the skinny cushion on the floor of a punk bar full of strangers who all know your name, but who all of a sudden know nothing about you. Of the greenness of your carefully tended plot where all of the characters are punished in a rising sea and die in waves. And then what? What of all of the hours driving around stealing milk crates to make into tables and stools? What of all of the cable ties lovingly looped between each other so we'll feel the tug in the dark when another slips from the net? And in the end, it isn't even astonishing that I let the same dead men writing to a silenced landscape haunt the obituaries. Name each ash in wheezy recitation outside, the rest of the world continued business as usual to burn. And to love is to open yourself up to loss, our lungs so full of love, no wonder sometimes we can't breathe. I wake at 4 a.m. and place my ear beside my lover's nostrils, listen to their cilia grating love through the open window just to check I actually woke up. And it is, in fact, love in my lungs, or at least panic and not industrial disease. Drive one love the 5 minutes home after the gig so she won't have to walk her love past the house of boys who spat on another of our loves. We set the car air to recirculate, and the gas molecules clothed swap between themselves, and we suffocate a little more on our love. When there is no funeral, another love sends poppies to the house I'm staying at and hay fever, or perhaps the agrochemicals burn my eyes, my ears, my sinuses out. And this too is love, because what is love in this hellscape if not agitation? The Blumex card reading, "You, my love. When it gets too much, I'll see you in the streets." And it is already too much. Thank you. Christine, I'm wondering if we have some winners to announce. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh, thank you. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Hot goss. Before I announce the winners, can we please have a round of applause for Newcastle Library, Maitland Library, Macquarie, Port Macquarie, where are we? Port Macquarie. Our friend on the camera, Andrew here, I think it's Todd up the back, for Christine, for Julia, Word Travels, Create New South Wales and the Australia Council, because where would we be without government funding? And all of our poets who performed this afternoon, and all of our judges for judging. Excellent, excellent. So, I have two names here. Going on to represent the Hunter Valley at the New South Wales final. As you know, if they win the New South Wales final, they go to the Australian Poetry Slam, National Poetry Slam, the Australian Poetry Slam Grand Final, and become the 2020 Australian Poetry Slam champion. I can put words in order. So please welcome to the stage, in second place, Joshua. Congratulations, Joshua. Excellent work. Look in the eyes of the people who chose you. Elected official. And in first place, please also welcome to the stage, Sophie. All the way, all the way. Congratulations. So as I said, Joshua and Sophie will be going on to represent you all at the New South Wales final. It's been rad, Hunter. I've had a great afternoon. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of it.
Treats me like a rare and precious jewel. And he goes through the day proud of the fact that with me, he is the world's most imaginative lover. Men pick amazing places for sexual adventure. The wildest adventure proposed to me was in a bathtub we would fill with Jell-O. All I could think of was how many boxes it would take.